Welcome back. Well, we've been pointing out that it is sluggish for the markets, it's sluggish for IT stocks, but even a couple of these banks are taking it on the chin. So individually, we've been talking about the Bank Nifty as a headline index, but individually, IndusInd Bank is down 2.5%, Bajaj Finserv is down around 2.3% at this point in time. State Bank of India is also showing a cut of around 1.3%. So all of these stocks under pressure. Holding its head above the water is HDFC Bank, so that stock is holding with a gain of around 0.3% as we speak. But Manisha is now with us. She's taking us through the commodities segment. Manisha, over to you.
Thank you so much for that, Ekta. But I'm talking about wheat prices right now because they have been on slight higher levels. And Abhimanyu was earlier talking to the Food Secretary, Sanjeev Chopra, and he did tell him that the procurement that the government is looking for in this year is expected to be on the higher side as compared to the previous year. Because remember, the wheat holdings with government, the buffer stock that is at a multi-year lows. Joining us now is Ajay Goyal. He's chairman at the Wheat Products Promotion Society. Ajay, hi, thank you so much for joining us. What is your sense? Because we do know that there are various curbs and restrictions when it comes to essential commodities in India. Now with the expectation that government will be able to procure enough and more wheat, what is the private trade looking like and how are you looking at the government procurement numbers?
The government has set itself quite an ambitious target of 31 million tons. But the problem is that all of the mandis in the market, the government is not equipped to, purchase. Especially in UP, it has been found in the past that, although it sets the target, it doesn't actually realize it. But good luck to the government, and estimators that it will be between about 26 million tons is what the government procurement is likely to cross. And the whole idea of the government last year is to keep food inflation under control, and they procure the maximum to participate, to sell out in the market intervention programs and things like that, which keeps the markets in the leash. So the private trade is slowly withdrawing its participation in stocking, and when the crop is coming in, at that time there is very low activity from the private trade side.
So Ajay, what is private trade doing right now? I mean, we do understand that there are limits that you can hold on to, that there are mandatory disclosures that the trade has to do in various commodities, not just wheat here. And with the government wanting to increase its buffer stock, how is private trade viewing this?
So officially, there is no bar on private trade to participate currently. But it is expected that if the government is not able to procure their targets, there will be lots of curbs on private trades, and suddenly, you will have stock limits and private trade will be told to liquidate their stocks. So that fear is there in the mind, and unofficially, the government is spreading the word around that it wishes to first, complete its procurement target, and private trade should not actively be in the marketplace. That's the sort of feeling everybody is getting, feelers that's getting from government. So private trade is just in the wait and watch situation currently.
Ajay, I remember a couple of years ago when the wheat prices were rising, a lot of people wanted to enter the trade. Would you say it's quite contrary to that right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So nobody wants to be on the other side of the law, and the government is taking out notifications to control wheat markets and other commodity markets. Almost weekly, they are, coming up with new instructions. Right now, every trader or miller who is purchasing wheat has to declare his weekly stock. So that is the only restriction that is there, so that the government is in a situation to monitor. But there is a scare scenario within the trade that, once the government realizes that it's not getting most of the stock as desired, it may certainly put in the curbs.
Also, another important statement is that when you look at the last 1 year, we've seen the wheat MSP increase by 7%, but the wheat prices have only gone up by 5%. What does that really mean for the trade? I mean, it clearly can't be profit-making.
No, surely it's government's subsidies that are at play all the time continuously. The government is against any sort of food inflation in the country. So all the wheat that is procured by the government, it besides distribution to the vulnerable and needy, it also has the market intervention program. Last year, they sold about 10 million tons of wheat in the OMSS scheme, which is quite a subsidized sale. And of course, the government is also coming out with its own atta and rice and their own brand and distribution. These are the steps that the government is taking directly for consumer protection. But the industry and trade in between is caught up because the trade will have its own costs and it's in no position to subsidize its business. So that's the sort of scenario currently prevailing.
All right.
Okay, all right, Mr. Goyal as well as Manisha. Thanks very much for taking us through that conversation. We need to take a short break. More on the markets once we're back. Stay tuned.